performers this evening. I know you're going to enjoy the show. I should let people know that due to my inability to be two places at once, and I've been working hard on it, but I haven't made much progress. I was upstairs practicing when various people may have come in. If you didn't give Bob a $3 donation, I'd love it if you could do so during the course of the evening. And I apologize for the inconvenience. We have a couple traditions at the Hootenanny. One is that when the performers are on stage, the audience shares the music with them, and we don't have any speaking in the audience, so everybody can enjoy the music. It has provided us special moments and special evenings for a good number of years. It's a mini concert setting. The other rule, which I know you'll enjoy, is that smoke anywhere you want outdoors. Your choice, big outdoors out there. And when he is in town, our other tradition is that the evening festivities are begun by Jackson's original Bill Briggs, leader of the Stagecoach Band, the skier of many high and fierce mountains, teller of stories, and the maker of wonderful music. Please join me in making welcome Bill Briggs.
What number Hoot is this for him?
10,000.
Is that last week, 731? 330. What? 330. All right. Yay!
Of this kind of food.
330.
305.
I was doing prison songs last week, and this is a continuation, because one of the songs which I didn't have the words for were found by Adrian and Peter. So I thought I would try to do that song I started last week. It's an Irish poets. I don't know whether he put the music to it or not. Brendan Behan. Anyway, I saw the words for the first verse up in Canada when I was up there skiing last spring. It was on the wall of an Irish pub. And I had heard the tune before, but I never had the words. So all I had was the first verse, and now I have 5 verses. Anyway, evidently this was featured in a Behan's play, The Quare Fellow.
The what fellow?
Quare. Q-U-A-R-E. Never heard of it. A hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Now the screw was peeping while the lag was sleeping, and he was dreaming of his gal cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. And to begin the morning, the warden's bawling, "Get up, you browsy, and clean out your cell." And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. In the female prison, there are 70 women, and it's among those women I would like to dwell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Now the wind was rising, and the sun declining, while I lay pining in my prison cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Oh, hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Thank you. This is a chain gang song from down Texas way. About 100 years old, I guess, by the lyrics anyway. Collected by an Arthur Horridges. When the storm winds came, men lying dead, we caught them out of the chain. Captain, don't you do me like you done shine. Done drove that bullet till they come down blind. tenants like 99 and 9. Oh, wouldn't be no captain keep me out on this line. Well, there ain't no more cane on this Brazos. Oh, they done ground it all in molasses. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Your next performer this evening, man of many talents, plays the fiddle, the guitar, the accordion, probably plays a few other instruments I'm forgetting. Recently made his 100th appearance here, and more special probably this evening is that his mom is here with us from Missouri.
All right.
Would you please welcome Doug Woody and also give a warm welcome to his mom from Missouri.
Jack, let's have your mom wave so we know which one she is.
Straight behind you, Jack. And I'm going to have Hank help me. Musical and moral support here. Let's see. Last night I went to sleep in Detroit City, and I dreamed about those cotton fields back home. I dreamed about my mother, dear old father, sister, and brother, and I dreamed about the girl who's been waiting for so long. I want to go home. I want to go home. Lord, how I want to go home. Now home folks think I'm big in Detroit City. By the letters that I write, they think I'm fine. But by day I make the cards, and at night I make the bars. If only they could read between the lines. I want to go home. Yeah, I want to go home. Lord, how I want to go home. Go home. Lord, how I want to go home. You know, I rode a freight train north to Detroit City, and after all these years I find I've just been wasting my time. So I think I'll take my foolish pride, put it on a southbound freight and ride, and go on home to the loved ones, the ones I left waiting so far behind. I want to go home. I want to go home. Lord, how I want to go home.
Let me scoot over the other side of you so you can go.
And this is a song that begs for a banjo. Someone sabotaged your banjo, I think.
I think somebody said sandbagged me here.
An interesting topological problem. You can tell them a
It was
story.
upside down. Well, I'm doing both these songs because it's the first time my mom's been to the Hoot, so that last one, my mom grew up in cotton country in the Boot Hill, Missouri, so she can kind of relate to this one. And this next song, I remember her singing when I was a little tyke, so. Quite the fisherwoman, too. She caught more fish in her youth than I'll catch in my entire life. Without the benefit of any $1,500 carbon fiber flower rods, too. Caught at knee. We in tune?
Is that close enough?
We can't go.
Well, you get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. Yeah, you get a line and I'll get a pole, baby. You get a line and I'll get a pole. We go fishing in the that hole, honey. Sugar baby on mine. Slept too late, honey. Get up, old woman, you slept too late, baby. Get up, old woman, you slept too late. Last piece of crawdads on your plate, honey. Sugar baby, oh mine. Yeah, you get a line, I'll get cold, honey. You get a line, I'll get cold, baby. You get a line, I'll get cold. Big old fisherman crawdad hole, honey. Sugar baby, oh mine. Well, what you gonna do when the pond goes dry, honey? Yeah, what you gonna do when the pond goes dry, baby? Well, what you gonna do when the pond goes dry? Gonna sit on the bank and watch crawdads die, honey. Sugar baby on mine.
Doug Woody, along with Hank. Yeah. Hey, next up we have our co-founder here of the Hoot. Actually, it's his idea to put this thing together. Gathered us in, and we started up at the bar in Moose, Wyoming. It was a wonderful place. And we moved down here because we got too popular up there. It's kind of too bad to get too popular. But here we haven't turned anybody aside. We can fill the room up and then have another layer on top if we want, you know.
Yeah, we even had to send for chairs once.
Yeah. Anyway, here is Dick Barker.
Thank you. This is a song I learned in 1957. It originally had been released on the radio around 1950 and was allowed to be on the radio for about a week, and then it was banned. think Senator McCarthy was around at that time. It's a talking blues. "55 years ago, we took the art of killing people to a new plateau. In the course of 5 days, we dropped 2 bombs and killed about 200,000 people. And this is a song that was in protest of that. Well, now I'm going to preach all a sermon about old man Adam, and I don't mean the Adam in the Bible, Adam. No, I don't mean the thing that Mother Eve mated. I mean the thing that science liberated. The thing that Einstein says he was afraid of. And when Einstein's scared, brother, I'm scared. Well, now, if you're scared of the A-bomb, here's what you gotta do. You gotta get all the people in the world with you, and if we don't get together and do it, well, first thing you know, we're gonna blow this world plumb to Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Alamogordo, Bikini. Now, life used to be such a simple joy. The cyclotron was just a super toy, and folks got born that work and marry. Atom was a word in the dictionary. And then it happened. And the science boys from every clime, well, they all pitched in with overtime, and before you knew it, the job was done. They'd hitched up the power of the gall-darn sun, put a harness on old Saul, a splitting atoms. And while the diplomats was a splitting hairs, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Alamogordo, Bikini. But the atom is international, and in spite of hysteria, it flourishes in Utah and in Siberia. And whether you're black, white, red, or brown, the question is this, when you boil it down. To be or not to be, that's the question. Atoms to atoms, dust to dust. And the answer to it all in military datum is who gets there the furthest with the mostest atoms. But I say the people of the world must decide the fate. We gotta stick together or disintegrate. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Alamogordo, Bikini. Yes, it's up to the people, cause the atom don't care, and you can't fence him in. Why, he's just like air, and he don't give a hoot about any politics or who got what into whichever fix, cause all he wants to do is kind of sit around and have his nucleus bombarded with neutrons. So the moral is this, just as plain as day. Old man Adam is here to stay. He's gonna stick around, that's plain to see. But what I want to know is, are we? So listen, folks, here's my thesis. Peace in the world, or the world in pieces. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Alamogordo, Bikini. Well, I'll do another song about some shooting, but a little different kind. Way up in Wyoming, where the weather is cool, up on the mountain stood Bernard the Mule. with the brand on his shoulder and shoes on his feet, and a government number stamped right on his seat. He'd served 28 years as a government mule, just a bucking and a kicking and acting a fool. Eating hay in the winter, in the summer it was grass, living high year around like a government employee. Well, they looked at his records one fine day. The quartermaster said he's not earning his hay. He's just sitting around getting high on grass. The review board said, well, let's bust this mule. So they sent out flyers by the U.S. mail, advertising old Bernard for sale. Up stepped Davy Coulter with cash in his hand, and he saved Bernie's rear from a dog food can. Oh, Bernard, although you was a fool, still, Bernard, you's a pretty good old mule. Oh, Bernard, I'd have never turned you loose if I'd have thought, Bernard, they'd mistake you for a moose. Now a California hunter with a trophy in his eye drove up to Jackson, a permit to buy. They took his money and they turned him loose. He went up on the mountain to bag a big moose. Old Bernie saw him coming, but he didn't run. In the army he'd seen many a fool with a gun. California hunter fanned the trigger so fast, he put a half a dozen bullets into Davy's mule. Well, he looked at old Bernard with pride in his eyes, says, hot damn, what a hunter's prize. Folks back home are gonna think it's a gas. So he whipped out his knife and he skinned Davy's mule. Now the game warden looked at that California fool, the brand, the shoes, saw he had a mule. He thought this damn fool deserves a mule to eat. So he grinned and he said, you got some mighty fine meat. Oh, Bernard, although you was a fool, still, Bernard, you's a pretty good old mule. Oh, Bernard, I'd have never turned you loose if I'd have thought, Bernard, they'd mistake you for a moose. Somewhere in California there's a happy fool serving friends and neighbors barbecued mule. They go home happy saying, wasn't that a gas? But you and I know that they had a piece of mule. Oh, Bernard, although you was a fool, still, Bernard, you's a pretty good old mule. Oh, Bernard, I'd have never turned you loose if I'd have thought, Bernard, they'd mistake you for a golden moose.
Dick Barker, songs of our local territory here that actually occurred up here, didn't it, Dick? Anyway, next up we have our lady who has played the most with us here, 156 times. And she always has topical songs as well. Here is Adrienne Ward.
Okay, we have tonight, well, first I want to say it's really neat that people were singing choruses and stuff. I wish I had chorus songs for you, because, I don't know, a lot of the performers I know like to hear the audience singing. It shows you're awake. So I encourage you to do it. Unfortunately, mine don't have choruses tonight. This is Child Ballad number 113. Takes place in the West Orkneys, somewhere off of Scotland. You don't think life was very much fun back then or very exciting, but this song includes interspecies copulation, shape-changing sea mammals, surrogate motherhood and payment for same, parental kidnapping, gun control, and it's an anti-hunting song. So they had a lot on their plate back then. And you guys have, the old folkies around here have probably heard Joan Baez sing this way better than me. It's called The Great Silkie, which means seal, of Sul Skerry, which means a really crummy little island. Now I have another kind of mildly depressing song. I learned this off some tape or other. It was written by a lady named Linda Higginbotham who lives in Indiana. And I was singing it just before I met Peter, which has always amused me. And I guess I wasn't feeling too cheerful about the future possibilities of life at that point. I was so young when my first love, a new world opened to view. If I'd known then what I know now, to that love I would have stayed true. 'Cause romance, it faded when it was gone from sight. Another was needed to hold close, to keep the desire so bright. It does have a chorus, but it's complicated. All of the good ones are taken. There's nobody left for me. My poor bones are aching. It's no longer fun to be free. There used to be hearts for the breaking, but all of the good ones are taken, and there's no one to bring home tonight. Well, I used to have plenty to choose from when I was 24. Plenty of parties to cruise from, the kind they don't give anymore. Oh, I used to think people were crazy to settle for loving just one, when every day could bring your way the prize of a new heart won. All of the good ones are taken, nobody left for me. My poor bones are aching, no longer fun to be free. They used to be hearts for the breaking when the moon was shiny and bright, but all of the good ones are taken, and there's no one to bring home tonight. This is my favorite line coming up. Looking for lovers ain't easy when you wanna be home by 10. If I'd been smart, I'd have used my heart, not gonna look in again. Each time I had to look harder, each time I had to search more. I see at last that time is past to find what I'm looking for, but I found one anyway. All of the good ones are taken, there's nobody left for me. My poor heart is aching, it's no longer fun to be free. There used to be hearts for the breaking when the moon was shiny and bright, but all of the good ones are taken, and there's no one to bring home tonight.
Just pull it over. Adrian Ward. Next up, we have a novel fellow. Also, he's not a bad actor either. Does pretty well on stage and even writes screenplays and does all kinds of things. But he also sings and plays guitar really well. Please welcome John Cook.
Howdy. I hope somebody has reminded you that we have a terrific featured set tonight. We have a string band called the Real-Time Travelers, and you're gonna like them. So they do a lot of traditional music. They also write some of their own tunes, but it's I think you'll find a certain unity in the music. It's in that good old-time string band style, and I'm gonna do a couple of old-time songs here in kind of a medley. The first one is actually, I think, a shortened and somewhat sanitized version of the second one. The first one is called Little Willie. There's a tradition that the bad guys in old-time songs are named Willie, and I'm not kidding. You could do a whole album on Willie. The guy in Willow Garden is named Willie, the guy in the banks of the Ohio is named Willie, and the guy in both of these songs is named Willie. And they don't treat their women well. They do them wrong. They sometimes kill them, like in Willow Garden, and Banks of the Ohio, and the second of these songs. So you see what you think. The first one's called Little Willie, the second one's called Pretty Polly. When I was in my 16th year, Little Willie courted me, said if I'd go away with him, his own dear wife I would be. We were so far away from home. Little Willie courted me. Oh, he already did that. We were so far away from home. Little Willie said to me, go home, my dear little girl. My wife you'll never be. My mama, she was kind to me, and I know she loved me dear. He brought me far away from home. How can you leave me here? It's nature, nature, my dear little girl, and it's nature for to be. My mind it is to ramble round till I bid this wide world adieu. This finger's spazzing on me. I know it can do this. There we go. Well, 2 out of 4 isn't too bad. Polly, pretty Polly, o'er yonder she stands. Polly, pretty Polly, o'er yonder she stands. Rings on her fingers, her lily white hands. Polly, pretty Polly. Pretty Polly, won't you take me in kind? Polly, pretty Polly, won't you take me in kind? Come sit down here beside me, let me tell you my mind. My mind is to marry and never to part. My mind is to marry and never to part. The first time I saw you, it wounded my heart. Polly, pretty Polly, won't you come go with me? Polly, pretty Polly, won't you come go with me? Before we get married, some pleasure to see. They rode over mountains and valleys so deep. Rode over mountains and valleys so deep. Pretty Polly, she mistrusted and then began to weep. Willie, oh Willie, I'm afraid of your ways. Willie, oh Willie, I'm afraid of your ways. The way you've been rambling, you led me astray. Polly, pretty Polly, your guess is about right. Polly, pretty Polly, your guess is about right. I've been digging on your grave the best part of last night. Well, she knelt down before him, a-pleading for her life. Knelt down before him, a-begging let me be a single girl if I can't be your wife. Polly, pretty Polly, that never can be. Polly, pretty Polly, that never can be. Your fast reputation's been trouble to me. He opened her bosom as white as the snow. Opened her bosom as white as the snow. He struck to her heart and her heart's blood did flow. Threw in a little dirt and he started for home. Threw in a little dirt and he started for home, leaving only the trees and the wild birds to mourn. Well, he went to the jailhouse and what did he say? Went down to the jailhouse and what did he say? Killed pretty Polly and trying to get her way. Thank you.
John Cook. Oh, next up we have a fellow that gets around to strange places more than the rest of us do because he's the locksmith in town. But he also has a herd of horses, which he likes to ride. He likes to sing about the cowboy and Western songs. Here is Greg Keckler.
Yeah, we've got horses now. We've got more horses than I ever dreamed of having. When I was a little boy, I just wanted a pony. I didn't know I was going to grow up and end up with a herd. I blame that on my darling wife, Bonnie. She's a horse junkie if I ever saw one. I got her convinced that we got too many horses, though. She sold one last week. I was really proud of her. She immediately took it back in to board it. Better than what she did last year. She sold one and bought two with the money. I figured we weren't getting ahead there either.
How many guitars do you have, Greg?
Not enough. I told Bonnie once that I thought she had too many horses. We were standing out in the corral and she was pointing at one of the horses and she went by about 3 different names before she got to the right name of the horse. And I said, Bonnie, you got too many horses. She looked me square in the eye and she says, Greg, horses are just like guns and guitars. You can't have too many of them. And I didn't say another word after that. I knew I'd never get another guitar in that case. This, what I thought I'd do first is an old Gene Autry song. I wasn't actually born out west on a ranch with horses or anything. It's a huge mistake, I'm sure. I think the stork got lost in the storm or something, dropped me way back east. But I always look forward to the Saturday afternoon matinees, going and seeing my heroes, Gene and Roy, and watching them ride across the silver screen. What I did not confess to my baseball playing buddies was that I kind of dug it when they took the guitars out and started singing songs too. This was one of my father's favorite songs that I used to do. This was written by Gene Autry. You're the only star in my blue heaven, and you're shining just for me. You're the only star in my blue heaven, and in dreams your face I see.
of the night. Till you come in sight, my heart is lonely. You're the only star in my blue heaven, and you're shining just for me. Something strange in the old corral. There's a breeze, though the wind has died. Though I'm alone in the old corral, seems there's someone by my side. Empty saddles in the old corral. Where do you ride tonight? Are you rounding up the dogies, the strays of long ago? Are you on the trail of buffalo? Empty saddles in the old corral. Where do you ride tonight? Are there rustlers on the border or a band of Navajo? Are you heading for the Alamo? Empty guns covered with rust. Where do you talk tonight? Empty boots covered with dust. Where do you walk tonight? Empty saddles in the old corral. My tears would be dry tonight if you'll only say I'm lonely as you carry my old pal. Empty saddles in the old corral. Empty guns covered with rust. Where do you talk tonight? Empty boots covered with dust. Where do you walk tonight? Empty saddles in the old corral. My tears would be dry tonight if you'll only say I'm lonely as you carry my old pal. Empty saddles in the old corral. Thank you.
Greg Keckler. All right, next we have a young man that's here for 160th time, and got stories to tell, even got a book to sell, and I'm sure you can get one autographed over there. Stories about how it was in Jackson, years gone by, and he was here to see it. But he also sings songs, and since he's so young, at 80 some odd years, we allow him to do 3 songs. There's Jack Hyler.
Thank you. There's so much applause tonight because this room is stacked with my family. I got to put this down here for the next family song. And I got to ask you if you don't like this new cap that was just presented me tonight by the Teton Equestrian Club. And I got to comment that if it hadn't been for the Hiroshima bomb, I probably wouldn't be here wearing this cap. I just got to give you a flip side to the bomb. War is terrible, no question about it. The bomb was terrible. Probably saved my life, so I don't hate it as much as some who weren't involved. We were poised to invade the Japanese mainland. The date looked as if it would be the 5th of November. I don't know what would happen. But it took some years before it occurred to me that that bomb had probably saved Japanese lives as well as American lives, because as many as it cost, nobody ever suggested that the Japanese wouldn't fight ditch by ditch to protect the homeland. Some years later, good many years later, about 1985, I was in Japan with a Japanese man, Margaret and I, and we were at their home, and on the wall were pictures of Hiroshima before and after. And I asked why. He said, because I'm from Hiroshima. My whole family was killed except for me, and I was in the Army elsewhere. That was kind of hard, but I thought a few minutes, and I asked him, has it ever occurred to you that maybe that bomb saved Japanese lives as well as American lives? And he went, and he turned away. In about 3 minutes, he walked back to me and he said, I think you're right. And that took a huge monkey off my back. It's just, I don't know what's the truth, but it's the other side. I hate to be so serious for a moment. And now I'm going to, would everybody in this room who's my family raise your hands, please? We just had a family reunion. Last night, there were 95 at the final dinner. This is the hardcore group here tonight, and they're going to sing for you after I do one song, but I want to teach them a new family song. They don't know it yet, this song, and I think it ought to be, I think it's most suitable. And the chorus is, oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror, 'cause I get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I must be a hell of a man. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble, but I'm doing the best that I can. Now do you have that, family? I want everybody to join in the chorus each time. I used to have a girlfriend, but I guess she just couldn't compete with all of those love-starved women that keep clamoring around my feet. I suppose I could find me another, but they're all in awe of me. Who cares? I never get lonesome, 'cause I treasure my own company. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror, 'cause I get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I must be a hell of a man. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble, but I'm doing the best that I can. I reckon I'm just a cowboy, independent, a loner, and proud. I could have lots of friends if I wanted, but then I wouldn't stand out from the crowd. Some folks say I'm egotistical. Hell, I don't even know what that means. I guess it has something to do with the way that I fill out my skin-tight blue jeans. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror, 'cause I get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I must be a hell of a man. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble, but I'm doing the best that I can. Yes, I'm doing the best that I can. New family theme song. Now I want to invite the entire family up here with me, and we're going to sing a couple of family songs to you. Well, if it doesn't, you overflow. That's fine, yeah. Now, this branch of the family hails originally from the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina. And this is an old Smoky Mountain song, If the Stage Holds Up.
Which one?
Oh, we're going to start off with Book of Red.
Get Margaret up there near you.
Well, isn't she here?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Can we bring a camera, Jack? You guys gotta have a picture of this.
We bring
Hopefully it works.
Book of Red, he is dead. Don't you see the crepe around the women's head? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Don't you know that I'm satisfied when I'm by my baby's side? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. I told Mrs. Booker that Booker was dead. She was setting in the kitchen and making the bread. Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Don't you know that I'm satisfied when I'm by my baby's side? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. If you don't believe that Booker is dead, just look at the hole in the back of his head. Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Don't you know that I'm satisfied when I'm by my baby's side? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Booker was working on the dusty road. They brought him back on the cooling board. Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Don't you know that I'm satisfied when I'm by my baby's side? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. His heels is up and his toenails are dragging. He was bottom side up on the voodoo wagon. Oh Lord, pretty baby, I'm satisfied. Don't you know that I'm satisfied when I'm by my baby's side? Oh Lord, baby, I'm satisfied. Good, man. The reason I've got the words out there, the next song, we all know the whole song, but we've divided it up, who sings what part. And I don't want to goof it up. I don't know that I can read that far, but I'll try. This? Somebody hold it for me. Give me that sheet, please, and you hold the other one.
I'll hold the other one.
All right. At the end of this song, this is a family song that was sung in the Smokies very nasally and high, and this is before the Grand Ole Opry. And we sing it pretty much that way. And at the end of it, I'll tell you a surprise about it. All right. On Springfield Mountain, there did dwell a lovely youth. I knowed him well, I gave y'all to thy knee, right, to thy new, right, to thy knee, One day this you was he did go down in the meadow for to mow. Why, yo, why, to thy knee, right, to thy new, right, to thy knee, right, to thy new. He'd scarcely mowed half around the field when a cruel serpent bit his heel. To thy knee, right, to thy new, right, to thy knee, right, to thy knee. They took him home to Mulla Deer, and he did look most awfully queer. To thy knee, right, to thy knee, right, to thy knee, right, to thy knee. With which the pison she did say, why, yippo, to thy knee, right, to thy new, right, to thy knee, right, to thy new. But Mama had a rotting tooth, and so the pison killed them both. Why, oh, to thy knee, right, to thy knee, right, to thy knee, right, to thy new. Tooth, and so the pison killed them both. Now, the amazing thing about that song was that a little research unearthed the fact that the song was written in 1761 as an elegy upon the sad death of one Timothy Myrick, 22 and engaged to be married until bitten by a rattlesnake in Farmington, Massachusetts. At that time, it was sung to the tune of Old Hundred, all people out on earth do dwell. All right, thank you.
Oh, what a production. Wow.
We've been practicing.
Oh, very impressive. Hyler's, Jack Hyler family, doing a wonderful job. We've got a gal that comes by, gosh, only once a year. For a few weeks, I hope. But she sings Irish songs awfully well, has a CD out, and I'm sure you can buy it over there at the entrance. And has started with us back when we were up at Dornan's bar up there. Sings lovely songs. Please welcome back Ashley Davis.
It's great to be back. By way of Nashville, I didn't quite catch everything you said. I'm just here for a week. Used to live out here during the summer, as they said, and do some of the Irish Celtic stuff, and gonna play one of those for you, and then do one of my own. This one actually is one that Bill asked me for all the verses for that first summer that I lived here. It's called Shula Rún, which is Irish Gaelic for Go Now Love. And the lyrics that I'll be singing in Gaelic, it's in English and in Gaelic, but it goes, go now love, go quietly through the door.
Try to morning
Living in Nashville now. I've lived there for 7 years now. I'm a songwriter there, and I do have an album over at the table that's actually just found out it's been nominated for the Best Independent Album in Nashville. Hey. Guess it pays to do it on your own occasionally, even though you pay for it all. This is one that I wrote this spring with another writer in Nashville who's done some writing for Kathy Mattea, people like that. He's more of a folky than a country player, more like me. This one's called On My Way.
Seems I'm late, well I've been growing older. Fire's begun to smolder. Friendships sitting, simmering in the pot. Where once it danced over the top. And the black and white of youth now has blended to become an ever-thickening gray. And we sit and ponder our lives ended in sunlit rooms with fleeting friends. And the days change and the names change, and I can't fight it, so make it a friend. But it takes all I know through the back gate. But but I'll follow it to the river's banks, and there I'll float down so I won't drown on my way. It's not traffic that makes us impatient. It's not getting what we expected. And the blur of our past days ascending has us walking crooked, slightly bending. But the soft beating hush of our mothers has us talking like our fathers. We still smile upon our lovers and speak kindly of our brothers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And the days change and the names change, and I can't fight it, so make it a friend. But it takes all I know through the back gate, but I'll follow it to the river's banks, and there I'll float down so I won't drown on my way. But the one thing remaining ever dear are the memories that we hold so near. The porch, the breeze, the smell of spring. When all is said and done, these are our wings. And the days change and the names change, and I can't fight it, so make it a friend. But it takes all I know through the back gate, but I'll follow it to the river's banks, and there I'll float down so I won't drown on my way. On my way.
Oh, lovely voice. Ashley Davis. Okay, now we get a guy that likes to get us all singing along. He's an awfully wonderful fellow to have along. If you want something fixed, he does it. He fixed this, he got that over there, this screen behind us. If you need something done, give it to Peter. Here is Peter Ward.
When I'm working up a new song for the Hoot, I like to type it in my own computer and have it so as the years go by, I begin to get a selection of songs I like, but I don't like to type. And so, talk about fix it. So I get on the World Wide Web and see what's out there. This song came up with some interesting results. This is a song I think you all know, All Through the Night. And if you search for those words on the web, you find hundreds and hundreds of pages, many of them different versions of the song. And so what I've done is I picked 6 verses that are 3 totally different songs, exactly the same tune. The first are the original Welsh verses, the first 2 verses. I found them in Welsh, but I didn't know how to pronounce it, but they had a translation. And you'll notice that there's no mention of God, no mention of angels. It's actually rather nationalistic. It talks about Wales, the land of glory, and it's a very proud, happy song, and this is where the air came from initially. The second is a child lullaby that I think many of us know. 2 verses from that's really singing to the child to go to sleep, and it's kind of happy, but we'll take care of you tonight. The last 2 verses are mourning a lost love, and there are hundreds of verses out there of that theme to this, and websites for angels of young children that died, and so on. And so here's 6 different verses of the same tune, of hundreds of verses that I found out there. And just listen carefully to the very different feeling between the 3 different pairs of words. This is an auto harp I'm playing, and that's a patented name. So you see this called a chordomatic and many other things. And one of the things that's fun about an auto harp is you can play a lot of chords because you just push the button to get the chord. Well, my arrangement of this has 42 chord changes. Stars gaze down and tell their story all through the night. Here's the way to a land of glory all through the night. Other light seems merely darkness when true beauty shines upon us. Heaven's family tranquil o'er us all through the night. See how smiles a star serenely all through the night, beaming at the moon so keenly all through the night. Night is old age with grief coming, but adoring man and evening. Pale light from us will be streaming all through the night. Sleep, my child, and peace attend thee all through the night. Guardian angels God will send thee all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber steeping. I my loving vigil keeping all through the night, while the moon her watch is keeping all through the night, while the weary world is sleeping all through the night. Pour thy spirit gently stealing, visions of thee light revealing, breeze a pure and holy feeling all through the night. Hark, a solemn bell is ringing clear through the night. Thou, my love, art heavenward singing home through the night. Earthly dove soul immortal shall not waken by the last dim journey taken home through the night. Love, to thee my thoughts are turning all through the night. All for thee my heart is yearning all through the night. Though sad fate our lives may sever, their thing will not last forever. There's a hope that leaves me never all through the night. Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee and rolls, passes iron farms and fields, passing towns that have no name, freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of the rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your favorite son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be going 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing card games with old men in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. Feel of old wheels grumbling neath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. We've gone 500 miles and the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home and we'll be there by morning, through the Mississippi darkness rolling down to the sea. But all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rail still hadn't heard the news. The conductor sings his song again, the passengers will please refrain. This train's got the disappearing railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Peter Ward. I'm going to experiment here a little bit. No, we have need of a small area of bare floor. And Peter, don't get ahead of me here. We're just gonna. I think maybe that'll. Good job. You'll see. Well, I'm not going to take up a lot of time with introductions here, but we have these folks who went to the trouble to contact the Hootenanny and find out if they could play a little music for us here. They're from East Tennessee. They've been playing down in Colorado. On Saturday, they played up at the Folk Festival at Haley, Idaho. They're on their way back to Colorado, now headed for Glenwood Springs. Is that right?
Crested Butte.
Crested Butte. I knew it began with a C. Anyway, please welcome Roy and Heidi Andrade, Tom Sneed, Martha Scanlon, and David Havas, the Real-Time Travelers.
Cleared you a little spot there. That's great.
You got enough? We can move more.
Oh, that's good.
That should be. Okay.
I can always just dance off the stage.
Yeah.
Don't watch your feet.
We'll dance on tables if we have to.
Thank you all for having us. We're very, very pleased to be here. We don't take all ski towns the same way, so please don't think of us as transient ski bums.
group of folks.
In the right place. We're all related.
I'm Martha. I'm going to play you a tune. It's by Frank Prophet. He's a guy who wrote a lot of songs and built banjos and all kinds of instruments, dulcimers, stuff like that around Boone, North Carolina, which is real close to where we live. He was famous for singing Tom Dooley, and other folks got a hold of it. Got a little bit more money than Frank Prophet got. Oh. So this is a Civil War song. It's called Going Across the Mountains.
I'm going across the mountains, oh, fare thee well. Going across the mountains, can hear my banjo play. I got my rations on my back, powder it is dry. Going across the mountains, so don't you I'm going across the mountains, join the boys in blue. When the fighting's over, I'll come back to you. I spectrum the mountains if I have to crawl. Keep old Jeff Smith some of my rifle way before it's good daylight and nothing happens to me. Have a way down yonder in old Tennessee. I expect you'll miss me when I'm gone, but I'm going through. When the fighting's over, I'll come back to you. I'm going across the mountains, oh, fare thee well. Going across the mountains, hear my banjo play. I got my rations on my back, a powder it is dry. Going across the mountains, Chrissy, don't you cry.
Can you hear everything okay?
Can you hear everything you want?
The microphone with the singer is a lot better when the
Yeah,
mic is aimed at
I
the singer.
didn't mean to discourage
okay.
you from using the mic at all. When you're singing, you get up like about that close.
Okay.
Oh, well, heck.
But if all of you
Well, in
sing
that
harmony-
case,
In that case, we'll get close. Since we're all family, we can breathe on each other. Thank you very much. My name is Thomas Sneed, and I'm especially happy to be here at a Real Live Hootenanny because throughout my life, I'm 32 years old, I've been kind of born into this modern culture of all these different things as far as what entertainment is. And along the way, I picked up little nuggets of folk culture from the real folks. And that's led me to an incredible lifetime, the more that I picked up those little nuggets of folk music. And it's led me to where I live now in East Tennessee. And it led me to a position where I was lucky enough to meet such wonderful young people to play music with. And we're trying to carry on a tradition. And you all are doing the same thing, and God bless you for it, because it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to sing a song that's extremely folky in the sense that the folk process took this song to a different level, that someone came to a traditional folk song and had something new to add to that, and so that's exactly what they did. They added new lyrics to an old song. I knew this song when I was about 14 years old, but I never knew where it came from until I got older and started studying folk music, which is part of what I do for a living. And this is an old song that was called Hard Times in the City, or Hard Times on Penny's Farm, and a young man named Bob Zimmerman, who became famous later on as Bob Dylan, he put some special lyrics to it, and believe it or not, it's still folk music. Let's do a song. Sing it to you right, but you might think it's wrong. Just a little glimpse of a story I'll tell about an East Coast city that y'all know well. Hard times in the city, living down in New York town. Well, New York City's a friendly old town. Washington Heights to Harlem on down. Mighty many people milling all around. Kick you when you up and knock you when you're down. It's hard times in the city, living down in New York town. It's a mighty long way from the Golden Gate, Rockefeller Plaza in the Empire State. Mr. Rockefeller sits up as high as a bird. Old Mr. Empire never says a word. It's hard times in the city, living down in New York town. Try to find a job to work, stand in one place till your feet begin to hurt. If you got a lot of money, you can make yourself merry. If you only got a nickel, it's Staten Island Ferry. It's hard times in the city, living down in New York town. Mr. Hudson comes sailing down the stream. Old Mr. Minuet paid for his dream. Watch you city on a one-way track. If I had it my way, I'd send it right back. It's a hard times in the city, living down in New York town. On smog, California, every bit of dust in the Oklahoma plains, and the dirt in the caves of the Rocky Mountain mine. So much cleaner than the New York kind. It's a hard time in the city, living down in New York town. So all you do is people spreading news around. Listen to my story, you can listen to our sound. You can step on my name, you can try to get my beat. When I leave New York, I'm standing on my feet. It's a hard time in the city, living down in New York town. Listen to the song, sing it to you right, but you might think it's wrong. Just a little glimpse of a story I'll tell about an East Coast city that y'all know well. Hard times in the city, living down in New York town. We're going to break form for just a moment. We will have everybody in the group introduce themselves and play you a song. But before we did that, I wanted to touch also on a different subject that we're trying to add to tradition also, that we get to play with a lot of older musicians, but we're trying to turn young kids onto the power of this music. And part of doing that is expressing ourselves in our own way. So we're going to have Martha sing a song that she wrote that embodies some of the old-time feelings that we have and associations with nature and things like that. And this is a song that we've been playing quite a bit out in East Tennessee, and And people are always surprised that we're willing to add a little bit to this old-time traditional music, but we try to do it with the most respect that we can. And we'll ask Martha and Roy to kick off a little bit of this song. Its title is Raven, and it has some different connotations to different wildlife.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll sing it.
The mic closer to us.
name's Roy Andrade, and I'm from Western North Carolina, almost born and raised. Where? Asheville, North Carolina. All right!
Hey!
For some reason, I'm not surprised you've heard
We
of
got
it.
a whole family.
You're a Nashville native? Is that what you said? All right.
Hi.
Well, we're living. Dave back here lives in Asheville, and the rest of us live in Johnson City, which is about an hour north. During that last song, I was just kind of thinking about just the beauty here is amazing. And I've been in Wyoming once before, about a year and a half ago, to sell a Volkswagen van. We were living out in San Francisco, and I tried out internet commerce and was successful. I put the thing for sale, and the guy mailed me a plane ticket back and gave me my asking price and gave me a deposit and all this stuff. So almost got blown off of Interstate 80 in southern Wyoming. Those old Volkswagens, the suspension, that old, before the wishbone, made them really squirrely. But I made it through, and it's good to be back. This tune is follows kind of the food theme in Appalachia. One thing you're certain to find in most southern Appalachian homes is a good iron skillet. And some of them have been around for generations, and they just soak up the flavor year after year. So I want to do you a tune about, kind of in honor of this greasy skillet. This is,
No one did that already.
yeah,
Good.
This is one that Uncle Dave Macon, he may be familiar to some of you. He was one of the first real old-time musicians to be considered a star. This is one he did.
But it goes back. It goes back.
And I think it's really old. Some of these are hard to tell. Here's the skillet good and greasy all the time.
That's Roy. Well, I've had a relatively comfortable life. I'd like to say that I can write songs and play songs from a lifetime of hard living, and some of it has been hard indeed. And this trip, for instance, is a great example. Many songs will come of this, which brings me to the Band-Aid on my leg.
Could you show that up a little bit?
It's been tough, and I was bit by the Snake River today. So there's a song in that. This one, the song I'm going to bring to you today, is one that I found from a gentleman known as the Minstrel of the South, Bascom Lamar Lunsford, great name. And he had it all up here, all those songs, many, many songs. This one comes from far back in his memory, and from many people that knew it from far back in their memory. And it's he surmises that it's the origin of a gospel tune that we all know, I'm sure, called "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." This is called "Swing Low." Swing low in the east, swing low. Swing low in the west, swing low. Swing all around you, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low. Star in the east, swing low. Star in the west, swing low. Star shining in my breast, swing low, chariot, swing low. I'll testify. I have a mother, swing low. She's gone to glory, swing low. Angels took her, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low. I have a father, swing low. He's gone to glory, swing low. Angels took him, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low. I got a letter, swing low. It was sent from heaven, swing low. Angels sealed it, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low. Swing low in the east, swing low. Swing low in the west, swing low. Swing all around you, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low. Swing low, chariot, swing low.
Well, my name is Heidi Andrade, and I'm his other half. And I'm going to do it. You've been hearing some fiddling, and I did want to say one thing. I've been doing some cross-tuning tonight, and for any of you that aren't familiar with that, both Roy and I have to tune every time we change keys. This instrument can be played standard. You can play all the tunes standard, but it gives it a bagpipey sound, gives it a drone sound when you tune the strings so they're in one key. So instead of E, A, D, G, I tune the two lower strings up one step, so it gives it a really full sound. And I love that sound. So that's why we're tuning all this time up here. We could just play all in one key, but I'm gonna do a little dancing for you. I love dancing, and I'm a school teacher, and I'm always trying to get as much dancing with the kids as I can. I'm a music teacher. And I'm in the Bible Belt, so sometimes it's a little hard to do that, but I'm still at it. So here's a little clogging for you.
We can give you more floor.
No, that's fine.
Actually, that might be nice. Just one, like, 3 more inches.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Oh. Rug pulled out from under us.
At least the hook hasn't come out yet.
We play with one microphone a lot, and sometimes it's a wonder we all have both our eyes still.
All right. This is the old Cripple Creek, probably one that's familiar to some of you.
Get another one.
Wow, you folks are nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
I thought they had God on the top of Teton Pass when I was skiing up there a few years ago, but it lurks all through this valley. I'm glad to see that.
Can y'all come in the van with us to Christie
right.
Butte?
I mentioned this one last time. This is the first time that we put everything together and went out and rented a van and decided to drive across America playing music. And folks like you all and having nights like this is what makes it all worthwhile, and trying to explain to people what we do. We call ourselves the real-time travelers, and we feel like we're playing on words, but we're also playing on the idea of taking old records and old recordings and doing them in our own style and bringing them to people again. And we spend a lot of time in the archives looking for old material, and we find stuff, and every once in a while we find something that's really touching, either in a song or in the people who still play this music throughout America, not just in Appalachia, but out here also. So I wanted to thank everyone again. We'll play one last song. We did just finish our very first CD, so we'll have some of those over at the table when we finish. So please come by and shake and howdy and hear how Dave got thrown down the river today. He jumped in, so don't feel too sorry for him. It was just too beautiful. But we'll leave with one of the great varmint songs of Appalachian music. This is the old Brown-Eyed Rabbit.
Real-time travelers, they got a box of CDs, so they probably won't run out. Right now, we're going to take a real-time break. It'll only be about 10 minutes. We got 4 more performers on the first list to complete the first round of the sign-up list, and after that, we'll be doing 1 song each on a quick second round. But come back in 10 minutes. Can we get you guys to sit down over there?
Take your seats, please. I'm sorry, the pilot has informed me that we cannot commence takeoff or push back from the gate until all passengers have returned to their seats and fastened their mind belts.
You've been flying.
Worked pretty good, didn't it? All right, we have a man who is no stranger to the Hootenanny and no stranger to the Stagecoach Bar. It was the generosity of John Seidel that brought me into the Stagecoach Band.
You were lucky.
All I did was drop a few names and mention a few bands I'd been in, and John Seidel leaned back on the bar stool. He said, "What was the name of that band you were in?" I said, "The Charles River Valley Boys." He went like that. I kid you, he really did this. He went.
You can still, that's what happened. That's why I'm the way I am now.
Look at this receding hairline. Anyway, he said, "Do you still play?" I said, "Well, I haven't been playing in a while. I got a guitar, though." And he said, "Well, why don't you come by next Sunday and sit in?" And that Sunday was the 11th of July in 1982, and I was with the band until October 1992. That was sitting in on the following Sunday. And John lives over in Idaho now, but he manages to get over once or twice a month to play in the Hootenanny. Please make welcome John Seidel.
Thank you, folks, and thanks for the introduction, John. You know, you're still with the Stagecoach Band in spirit, that's for sure. You are. This is my newest favorite song, and it kind of goes back. The folks before me were talking about traditions, and my tradition originally is from Vermont, and I used to do a lot of sailing on Lake Champlain with my dad. And this is a great seafaring song. It's a little different than what I usually do. I got the opportunity to do this in my featured set a couple of months ago, and I'm going to do it again with your permission. She went down last October in the pouring driving rain. The skipper he'd been drinking, and the mate felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock, and she was dealt a mortal blow. And Mary Ellen Carter settled low. It was just us 5 aboard her when we finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down did cause us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter would rise again. Now the owners wrote her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service, then met her sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to her, so let us rest below. And they laughed at us and said we'd have to go. We talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 a-floating at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. May her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best, and we're with her till the end, will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard hat suit, and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. We stopped her vents and patched her rents, towed hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. And tomorrow noon we'll hit the air and then take up the strain, make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. May her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best, and we're with her till the end, will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Because we couldn't
and leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd less saved our lives many times, a living through the gale, and the smiling drunken rats who left her to a watery grave, they won't be laughing in another day. And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, take heed and put up all your strength of arm and heart and brain, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken or life about to end, no matter what you lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, rise again, rise again. Though they not be lost to the knowledge of men, all those who loved her best and were with her till the end, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again. Thank you, friends. I'd like to get Mr. Doug Woody up to help me on this song. This is something completely different. I have to set the scene for this. We're out on the prairie at night, and the fires sort of died down. There's just embers left. The cattle are all milling around. It's your turn coming up in an hour or two, and you just can't get to sleep. You figure you'd really better get some sleep before you have to go out on the night guard. But for some reason, it's impossible. It's from an old Badger Clark Badger Clark poem, who was one of the cowboy poet laureates, I suppose you'd say, of the Old West. It's called A Bad Half Hour. I don't know why I feel so restless. The moon is shining full and bright. Cattle all is resting easy. Oh, but I just can't sleep tonight. There ain't no cactus in my blankets. Don't know why they feel so hard. Addie Laurie. At last it's warbling John is singing. Addie Laurie out on guard. Addie Laurie, wish he'd quit it. Couldn't sleep now if I tried. Makes the night feel big and lonesome, and my throat seems sore inside. How my Annie used to sing it, and she sounded bright and gay. Nights I'd drive her home from dancing, while the east was turning gray. Now her brow was like the snowdrift, and her eyes like quiet streams, and her face appears before me much too often in my dreams. And her hand was warm and trembling that night beneath the tree, when I couldn't help but tell her that she was all the world to me. But her folks said I was restless, wild, unsettled. They were right, 'cause I lean to punching cattle, and I'm at it still tonight. And she married young Doug Wilkin. Oh Lord, I took that hard. I wish that fool would quit his singing. Annie Laurie out on guard. Annie Laurie, wish he'd quit it. I couldn't sleep now if I tried. Just can't keep from thinking about the way things were back then. Those old good times, they're past me now. Never come this way again.
Your shift on night guard.
What's that?
Your shift on night guard.
Sure, I'll come running. Warm me up some coffee pard. At least I'll stop that fool from a-singing Annie Laurie out on guard.
Thank you very much, folks.
John Seidel. All right, next we get up a portion, anyway, of the Hyler family. Here is Steve Hyler.
Accompanied by Father Jack Hyler.
What a heck of an act to have to follow. Gee, the last act.
This is a song by Ed Stivender, who's a storyteller that comes down to Jonesboro, Tennessee, where we go every year. And it seems appropriate for Jackson, particularly in the summers. I live in the suburbs not far from a mall, but camping's the life for me. The Rangers have told of a story so bold of me and my RV. I crawl when others like to fly. I drive on both sides of the road. Small cars behind me cannot see the sky. My name is Winnebago. I take to the roads when the reruns come on, but I take my TV in tow. In the national parks when it gets real dark, we like our Jacques Cousteau. I crawl when others like to fly. I drive on both sides of the road. Small cars behind me cannot see the sky. My name is Winnebago. On the lakes and the lakes and the trees in the pale moonlight, they mean so much to me. I see that sight on every postcard I write in the back of my RV. I crawl when others like to fly. I drive on both sides of the road. Small cars behind me cannot see the sky. My name is Winnebago. The folks in their tents and the campers complain. They hate to smell my fumes. They can all go to hell or a nearby motel for air-conditioned rooms. I crawl when others like to fly. I drive on both sides of the road. Small cars behind me cannot see the sky. My name is Winnebago. Don't you think that should be the new Teton Park theme song? Teton National Park? And this is a song by Steve Goodman that's been an old favorite of mine and my father's.
I'm not so sure about that.
You sing it. I miss my old man tonight. I wish he was here with me, with his corny jokes and his cheap cigars. He could look you in the eye and sell you a car. That's not an easy thing to do, but no one ever knew a more charming fellow on this earth than my old man. He was a pilot in the big war, in the U.S. Army Air Corps, in a C-47 with a heavy load of combat cargo for the Burma Road. But after they dropped the bomb, he came home and married Mom.
And not long after that, he was my old man. And oh, the fights we had when my brother and I got him mad. He'd get all boiled up and start to shout, but we knew what was happening, so we tuned him out. But now the old man's gone, and I'd give all I own to hear what he said when I wasn't listening to my old man. I miss the old man tonight. I can almost see his face. He was always trying to watch his weight, but his heart only lasted to 68. And now the old man's gone. For the first time since he died, late last night I cried. I wondered when I was gonna do that for my old man.
Steve and Jack Hyler. Okay, now we've got one more that hasn't played in the first round here, so we're going to get him up. He usually plays the largest instrument in the whole place. This is Kellen Garcia.
Hey everybody, this is my brother, Chuck Garcia. He's playing with me tonight. This is our last night here, I'm sorry. We're going back to California, where we came from, and it's past my bedtime, so you better hurry up. Okay, let's see, what are we gonna play first?
Like a woman.
Okay, we're gonna play a few songs that I've already done before, but they sound a lot better with guitar. They really do, trust me. This one's called Kind-Hearted Woman. Yeah. That's bad. Oh, we got a replacement. Replacement. Okay, here we go.
We're gonna start that one over again. Kind-hearted woman. Do most thing in the world for me. I got a kind-hearted woman. Do most thing in the world for me. But these other evil-hearted women will not let me be. I love my baby, but my baby don't love me. I said I love my baby, but you know my baby don't be loving me. I love my baby so much. I love her a lot. I even forgot the words, I love so much. Got a kind-hearted woman, but she serves evil all the time.
I got a kind-hearted woman, but she's beside evil all the time. You know she's bound to kill me, just to keep me off her mind. That's not it. I got solo. Come on, keep it. Go on. I got solo now. Come on. What are you thinking? Sing the world for me. I got a kind-hearted woman. Do must sing the world for me. But these other evil-hearted women will not let me be. Okay.
Whoever.
Out.
It's my turn to sing.
It's on solo too.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
This next song is called what's it called?
It's got a name.
Nobody knows you when you're down and out.
Like this.
Once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, didn't have any cares. Took all my friends out for a mighty good time. Bought birthday liquor, champagne and wine. But then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends and nowhere to go. If I get my hands on a dollar again, I hang on to it. To that old eagle grins because nobody knows ya when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as friends, you don't have any. You get back on your feet again. Everybody wants to be a long lost friend. I said straight without any doubt. Nobody knows you. I said nobody knows you. I said nobody knows you when you're down and out.
It's Kellen and Chuck Garcia. Good to have. That was pretty fast picking that boy does on that guitar, even if it's borrowed. All right. Hey, next up, we're going on into our second round here. One song each. Here's Doug Woody.
And my perennial backup here, Hank Phibbs. song called Hesitation Blues, a song about patience and timing.
Hope we have some of both.
Yeah, right. Oh, we have timing, hope they have patience, right? There she throwed my hat. One more time. She throwed my hat out the window. I close out the door. I get another mom. I don't want her anymore. She spends my money till the last lone dime, just a cussing and a fussing and a fighting all the time. Won't you tell me how long will I have to wait? Can I get away now or must I hesitate? Well, they throwed me in jail with my back to the wall. That long-tongued woman was the cause of it all. Spend my nights in a holler log before I stay with her and let her treat me like a dog. Won't you tell me how long will I have to wait? Can I get away now or must I hesitate? Hank. I'm going down the road with my hat in my hand, looking for a woman who's looking for a man. I ain't the doctor, just a doctor's son, but I can ease your pain until the doctor comes. Won't you tell me how long will I have to wait? Can I get away now or must I hesitate? Well, come here, Mama, pin a flower on me, 'cause there's a sweet little baby that I'm gonna see. A hesitating papa, hesitating blues, found a hesitating mama that he can't afford to lose. Won't you tell me how long will I have to wait? Can I get away now or must I hesitate? Yeah, tell me how long will I have to wait? Can I get away now or must I hesitate?
Doug and Hank. Good song. Yeah. All right, and hey, next up we have Adrian Ward.
Wait, what happened to
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got Dick Barker. Yes, Dick Barker first.
This is another song by Mac McClintock, Haywire Mac. Across the high Sierras came an SP passenger train, and the hobos tried to ride her, they found was all in vain. The conductor took the tickets and he counted every soul. The engineer looked straight ahead and the fireman shoveled coal. Now the fireman was a cowboy, but do not think it strange. He could make more money as shoveling coal than a riding on the range. Though he was a fireman and though he had to sweat, he still remained a Western guy 'cause he kept his lariat. The train was way behind the time and the passengers all were wild, when on the track sudden there strolled a little child. Her golden hair in ringlets was hanging down her back. She little knew her danger great as she strolled along the track. My God, the hawkhead shouted as he slammed on all his brakes. I'll never stop this SP train 'cause I ain't got what it takes. Oh, heaven help that we taught, he cried in accents wild. Can nothing stop this SP train and save that little child? Up jumped the cowboy fireman, and a gallant lad was he. Now I will save that baby if I wreck the whole SP.
He jumped out on the running boards with tears, his eyes were wet. And in his hand our hero had his trusty lariat. He quickly dropped a fast loop round a pole beside the track. He tied the other end of it around the big smokestack. He jerked that train right off the rails. He caused an awful wreck. Our hero lay there in the ditch with the engine on his neck. Now we will all remember that 45th day of May. There were many gallant hearts all filled with fear that day. We buried that poor fireman where the chilly winds blow wild. He killed 200 passengers, but thank God he saved that child.
45th day of May? All right. Okay, Dick Barker. All right, now we have Adrian Ward.
We have here a song about them people that have them bumper stickers on the back of their cars. And it has two parts, and I sing both of them. So you'll have to suspend disbelief or something. One of me is a lady who lives in a gated community in Walnut Creek, California, and drives a Volvo. And the other one of me is a kind of a scruffy guy that hangs around the Livermore Rodeo and drives a pick-em-up truck. My son Dwayne is the student of the month at the Harold C. Crittenden Junior High. I'm so proud of my son Dwayne, I could almost cry. I could almost cry. My kid Snake is the inmate of the month at the Alameda County Juvenile Hall. Whenever I think of that SOB, I have another beer. Oh, my daughter Beth is Beth's the ballerina of the month at the Isadora Duncan School of Dance. I'm so proud of my little Beth, I nearly wet my pants. I nearly wet my pants. Oh, my dog Spike is the pit bull of the month at the Mad Dog Mulligan's Bar and Grill. I'm so proud of my dog Spike, I'll have another beer. Well, my dog Puff is the poodle of the month at the No Bad Dogs Obedience School. I'm so proud of my poodle Puff, grinning like a fool. I'm grinning like a fool. Well, Snake and Spike and whoop you, Dwayne, kiss your daughter and eat your dog. I'm so sick of your bumper stickers that I think I'll trash your car.
Oh, that's a macho song if there was one.
What do you mean by that?
What's happened here? All right. That was Adrian Ward. Now we have Mr. John Cook.
Sorry. That's okay. And Doug, Geez, this paraphernalia here is... Alec Guinness died today. I couldn't think of a song about that. I mean, you know, I'm not about that, but you know, I couldn't think of a song for Alec Guinness. But I also happened to notice that it's Rodney Crowell's birthday. And John Seidel immediately asked me, how old is he? Well, I didn't notice that, but Rodney Crowell has written a lot of really good songs. And, somebody keeps doing that way down. Anyway, this is one of them. So let me play like some of the first verse and then we can come back. Old Mary took to running with a traveling man. Left her mama crying with her head in her hand. Such a sad case, so broken-hearted. She said, Mama, gotta go, gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of town, tired of hanging around. Gotta roll off between the ditches. It's just an ordinary story about the way things go. Round and around, nobody knows, but the highway goes on forever. That old highway goes on forever. Well, she never would have done it if she hadn't got drunk, hadn't started running with a traveling man, if she hadn't started taking those crazy chances. She said, daughter, let me tell you about the traveling kind. Everywhere they go, it's such a very short time. He'll be long gone before you know it. He'll be long gone before you know it. She said, never ever known it when it felt so good. Never ever knew it when I knew I could. Never have I done it when it looked so right. Leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. This is down in the swamp where anything goes. It's alligator bait and the bars don't close. It's the real thing down in Louisiana. Did you ever see a Cajun when he really got mad? Really got trouble like a daughter gone bad? It gets real hot down in Louisiana. Well, a stranger better move it or he's gonna get killed. Gonna have to get it or a shotgun will. It ain't no time for lengthy speeches. No, it ain't no time for lengthy speeches. She said, never ever known it when it felt so good. Never ever knew it when I knew I could. Never ever done it when it looked so right. Leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. An ordinary story about the way things go. Round and around, nobody knows, but the highway goes on forever. There ain't no way to stop the water.
And John Cook. Hey, next up we got a locksmith. Here's Greg Keckler.
Thank you. I'd like to do a lullaby, if you'd permit me. I got two little boys at home. Jack and Maddie, 3 and 5 years old. So this is the song that gets sung quite a bit. Trying to get them to shut up and go to sleep. Quite like that. Close your sleepy eyes, my little buckaroo, while the light from western sky shines down on you. It's time to rest, another day is through, so go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Don't you know it's time to round up a dream or two? So go to sleep, my little buckaroo. The mighty oak tree, like a little ache from the little acorn grew. I start thinking about the boys and I blow it every time. I get all misty-eyed and stuff. The mighty oak tree from a little acorn grew. And Buffalo Bill, he was once a kid like you. Soon you'll ride the range like the grown-up cowboys do. Now go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo, don't you know it's time to round up a dream or two? So go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Good night, good night. Close your eyes, my little buckaroo. Don't you know it's time to round up a dream or two? So go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Thank you. Amateur night. Thank
you. Greg Keckler. All right. Now we get up our gal back here again from Tennessee. Here is Ashley Davis.
I always sit when I play. This one I wrote actually last summer when I was here for that week. And I started to get to thinking, I was here twice last year, which was nice, and I was here during the autumn for the first time. And the autumn is definitely different here than it is in Tennessee or Kansas, where I was raised. And I've never seen a winter here. And the first snow fell the day before I was going to leave. And I started to think about the fact that I never stick around when it snows here. So this is called Leaving Jackson. I'm leaving tomorrow. Can't see stay another day. The first snow has fallen, and I must be on my way. Somewhere the leaves are changing, and the hills have turned to gold. But these rivers run deeper
my heart will ever know. But I'll sleep here tonight and listen to you breathing. Say my name softly. I'll forget about leaving. But the north winds are blowing, and your waters run cold. There's no use in knowing if you'll miss me when I go. I don't fear your winters, and I like to see her sleep upon the valley floor, down the mountain steep. But I fear my heart freezing to be never warm again. I know I'm always leaving. Time to go, says the wind. But I'll sleep here tonight and listen to you breathing. Say my name softly. I'll forget about leaving. But the north winds are blowing, your waters run cold. There's no use in knowing if you'll miss me when I go. Think about me in the morning, the sunlight in my hair, float in your highways, with you in my mirror. And I tell you that summer we'll find the valley once more. When the winds blow warmer, I'll be knocking at your door. But I'll sleep here tonight and listen to you breathing. Say my name softly, and I'll forget about leaving. But the north winds are blowing, your waters run cold. There's no use in knowing if you miss me when I go. There's no use in knowing if you miss me when I go. And do you miss me when I go?
Ashley Davis, love that voice. All right, here we have Peter Ward.
Well, I've got a sing-along that I think you all know. One of the joys of Jackson is rock climbing, And I just couldn't imagine to see another season go without somebody singing this song. Gory, Gory Rock Climber. Goes back into the IOCA days, the Intercollegiate Outing Club Association of the 30s. And was mimeographed for a couple of decades and finally put out in Songfest in the 50s. But when I went to look for the words on the web, where did I find them? The Mountaineering Club of the University of Belfast, Ireland. So while there are lots of Americans copying Irish songs, we have some Irishmen over there copying American songs. This has a chorus that I hope you'll all join in. We won't do it every verse, so we'll be here all night. Will it go round the chalkstone? Cried the belayer looking up. Our hero feebly answered yes, and then he inched on up. He was trying to drive a piton when his foothold crumbled out. Well, he ain't gonna climb no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Well, he ain't gonna climb no more. He slid right down the chimney and he quickly gathered speed. He shot past the belayer Hoot forgot the climber's creed. An anchor to a piton would have been all he ever need, but he ain't gonna climb no more. The belayer felt the rope pull taut and tried to let it run, but it jerked him from position and he knew his time had come. He left the ledge behind him as it shot up towards the sun. Well, he ain't gonna climb no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Well, he ain't gonna climb no more. They sped on down the chimney and they passed the southern call. They had such a good exposure that it made a glorious fall. They slithered over the friction pitch and sped on down the wall. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. The days they lived and loved and laughed kept running through their minds. They thought about the girls back home, the ones they left behind. They thought about the Rangers too and wondered what they'd find. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. A medic in the valley watched them through his telescope. As they neared the bottom, his eyes grew bright with hope. For it had been a week or more since the parting of the rope. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. One had the rope around his neck and pitons through his spleen. The ice axe in the rucksack had split the other's beam. The trails of red marked their descent as they neared the slopes of green. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. They ain't gonna climb no more. They hit the ground, the sound was splat, the blood was spurting high. Their comrades, they were heard to say, what a colorful way to die. They wished that they had never come, or else they'd learn to fly. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. There was blood upon their rucksacks, there were brains upon the rope. Intestines were entwined across the green and grassy slope. We put them in the lunch pail after salvaging the rope. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Well, they ain't gonna climb no more.
Why climb in the first place? Peter Ward. Okay. Hey, next up we get back John Seidel.
Thank you all. About 5 years ago, I was down in the Pinedale area. John, you'll be interested in this. And we drove up the Green River Road, up the road to Cora and on past towards Green River, and it was in October sometime. It was kind of a nice day, but it was getting chilly and a little bit clouded over. And as we drove up the road, we were faced with a bunch of determined cattle heading the other way. And as we drove farther, more and more cattle were just trotting very purposely down the road. And we figured we'd see some cowboys up there, you know, herding them all down, but nobody up there. The cows were all coming down on their own. And I mentioned this to a friend of mine in Pinedale a little bit later, to Dorothy, and she said, oh, she says, that's natural. It's kind of bred in the cattle. We call that the drift. They head down the slope every fall, and we just have to round them up when they get down towards the valley. And I said, the drift, aha, therein lies a song. And this song is dedicated to the memory of Dorothy Hay. All summer long, they've been up there all alone, through the sagebrush and coulees, a-bawling their song to the peaks and the skies up above. Now the clouds are a-lowering and scudding along, and the deep snow blowing is changing their song to a deeper gentle lowing for home. So it's down along the New Fork and down the Big Green, the Roaring Fork to Willow Creek and the canyons in between. They trace the long pathways to home, but it's a deep restless feeling bred in their bones when the aspen leaves fly and the winter winds moan. Oh, the doggies set out on the drift when the gates of the home corral beckon them down from the summertime rambles in the fields above town. And the frost in the morning, it covers the ground. The doggies set out on the drift. Drifting on down to the valleys below, running ahead of the new fallen snow, on the edge of the winter's first gale. It's mamas with doggies, a dog in their tails. They're reaching the end of their well-trodden trails, down the driftways that lead them to home. When the gates of the home corral beckon them down from the summertime rambles in the fields above town. Sweet hay and cool water with a herd bunched all around, waiting there for 'em at the end of the drift. Oh, for years I've been wrangling, roaming this land, from the banks of the Brazos up to old Montana, just me and my old buckskin mare. And I wonder at times as on the desert I'm roaming, does my sweetheart still think of me back in Wyoming, where the green water skiddy flows, when the gates of the home corral beckon you down from your summertime rambles in the fields above town. And the bright hearth of home gathers friends all around. It's time to set out on the drift. When the bright hearth of home gathers friends all around, it's time you set out on the drift.
John Seidel. And now we get up brothers here, Kellen and Chuck Garcia.
Excuse me. This really starts getting heavy, I tell you that. Let's move that down a little bit. Okay. see, we're going to be playing a George Gershwin song. I've played it here before, but like I say, it sounds really good with guitar too. It's called Summertime. Here we go. Summertime, and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Time and the living is easy. Catfish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you gonna rise up singing. Gonna spread out your wings and take to the skies. Until that day, there's nothing that can harm you. With your daddy and your mama standing by.
That virtuoso on the bass. Is that a double bass? Is that what you call it? Anyway, Kellen, Garcia, and Chuck. Hey, now we got David and Friends coming up here. Play us a little bit more. I just wonder what we got going here. Please welcome David and Friends.
I can't find my friends. They're here, but they're...
Now it's straight. Yeah, it's good.
This Skip Gorman CD I found. Actually bought from Skip Gorman in Louisville, Kentucky at the fabulous Galt Hotel during the International Bluegrass Music Awards annual Hootenanny, really. It's very interesting. If you have a show or a CD and you'd like to promote it in the circles of bluegrass, you go every year to the Galt House in Louisville on the banks of the Ohio River and rent a hotel room and send out handbills throughout the hotel and invite people to your hotel room for beer and drinks or just sitting on the couch to listen to you play. So this is where I picked this song up. My good gal's gone away, she kicked the bucket yesterday. Cross-eyed gal lived upon the hill. She cooked strychnine and died, I hope she's satisfied. She done the whole darn thing against my will. She's my dandy, my daisy, she's humpback and crazy. That cross-eyed gal lived upon the hill. She took strychnine and died, I hope she's satisfied. She done the whole darn thing against my will. Now she said goodbye to me as she was sitting on my knee. She said we'd meet upon the golden shore, but I took it as a joke. I never ever thought she'd croak. She never died so suddenly before. She's my dandy, my daisy, she humpback and crazy. That cross-eyed gal upon the hill. She took strychnine and died, I hope she's satisfied. She done the whole darn thing against my will. Now that she's gone to rest, I will meet her last request. Plant a bunch of onions on her grave, so that when I'm passing by, I can pucker up and cry. 'Cause the doggone things, they simply make me rave. She's my dandy, my daisy, she's humpback and crazy. That cross-eyed gal lived upon the hill. She took strychnine and died, I hope she's satisfied. She done the whole darn thing against my will. Hey.
I don't know, those guys are looking for material. This is a Tennessee song. May not know, I don't know. And anybody that wants to join in, come join in. Roll down the line. I'm doing prison songs. This is another one of those. G.
Sound. Put them in the coal mine against free labor stout. Free labor built against it too, and it took some time. But while the race was in a fix, and a rise and shine, tell him once you roll down the line, roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, coming down the line. Tell him once you roll down the line, roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, coming down the line. that mine. March it down the long walk, look into that hole. By the very last thing the captain say, but I hope you pull, buddy, would you roll down the line? Roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, I'm coming down the line. Buddy, would you roll down the line? Roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, I'm coming down the line. The bread is not so well. It is all burnt up and the coffee black as ink. But when you get your work done, when you come to call, now anything you get to eat tastes good raw, raw. Buddy, won't you roll down the line? Roll down the line. Johnny comes my darling, I'm coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down the line? Roll down the line. Johnny comes my darling. Boss is hard, man, a man you might know well. If you don't get your task done, he's gonna give you hell. March you to the stockade, on the floor you fall. Why, the very last thing the captain say, better have your pull, buddy, would you roll down the line? Roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, I'm coming down the line. Roll down the line. Roll down the line. Yonder comes my darling, coming down the line. Woody! And with that, we'll shut down the evening. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Real-Time Travelers, for playing with us.
I believe in 2 weeks we're going to have a featured set by the Free Roaming Buffalo Herd, which is Scott and Aaron Coates and various other people in a bluegrass band. So keep an eye on the papers for that one.